Welcome to today's edition of Mental Health Matters. Today, we're going to be talking about how to heal after losing a loved one. I have Jawan Williams on the show today, and she is going to share her experience of how she's healing after losing a loved one. Get you something to drink, get you a snack, and come on back. Good afternoon, Javon. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's Sacramento. These summer days is really hot.
Oh, it is so hot. I'm sweating because I got a cold, but it's hot.
I
It's
know I'm
very
looking
hot out
at
there.
the towel right now. I'm like, where's my towel? I'm starting to sweat.
Yeah, it's hot. It's definitely hot out there. And
Yeah,
that's how I got started getting a summer cold, going to my car, because when I go to take my breaks at work, I like
yeah,
to get out the office. I go in the car, it's 100 something degrees outside, come back in this office, it's 60 degrees, and that's when it started and stuff. That's exactly
yeah,
how it started. So now I got a heater in my work office to,
yeah,
to kind of avoid some of that, coolness that's coming through the vents.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I have the air conditioner on and the fan.
Wow.
Like I'm hot, and I just turned on the air conditioner, so maybe it'll get a little cooler. But I'm just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it will. It'll cool down. It'll cool down. So, Javon, why don't you introduce yourself? Strangers to the show, and then
Yeah.
we're going to go from there.
Absolutely. Hi, my name is Javon Williams. I'm the CEO and founder of Lamont Myers Foundation. I'm also come from I'm an impacted mother who lost her son to a fentanyl poison 5 years ago. His name was Lamont Samuel Myers.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for that introduction. So I
Mhm.
kind of want to talk a little bit about healing after the loss of a loved one. And this is a little bit different, not just with someone who lost someone through death, but people who break up that have or had strong relationships.
Yeah.
I was recently talking to somebody, which I thought, and this actually gave me an idea.
Yeah.
This individual had been in this relationship with this individual for a long time. I mean, they was very intertwined
Yeah.
and it didn't work out.
Mhm.
And this individual told me that when they broke up, it was like a death to him. And I
Mhm.
was like, oh, so tell me more.
Mhm.
And he literally went through the grieving process as if this person was no longer living.
Yeah.
And I never looked at it from that perspective,
Mhm. Mhm.
and
Yeah.
this isn't this can be
Yeah.
friends,
Yeah.
platonic friends, family.
A
Like
job.
if
Mhm.
you get that close to a person, what it does is it marks the end of the era of
Yeah.
that relationship.
Yes, that is, wow, it's so awful. I see it happen all the time. Unfortunately, it happens to us too. With
Yeah,
first love, and it's just awful. It's like, how can you go on and and you start getting depressed and
yeah,
not taking care of yourself mentally, physically. It's awful.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What is the person doing? Are they still going through this trauma?
Yeah, he's still going through. He ended up one of the things that he first thing he did, he said, was got into therapy. That was the first
Okay.
thing he did.
Mm.
The girl that which is really interesting, the girl that he was with, they was together for a while,
Uh-huh.
and she handled the situation differently. He went and got therapy. She went on dating apps
Oh wow.
looking
Yeah.
for somebody else.
Yeah.
Uh, Not only did he get in therapy, he decided to lose weight. He started going, working out to the gym and eating healthy. She
Yeah.
has increased her drinking. And like
Oh wow.
they approached the situation totally different.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could automatically tell it
Hmm.
affected him, it's affected
Yeah.
him mentally. He said that was the first thing he did. He said, I had to go and see a therapist because he was depressed, he had a lot of anxiety,
Yeah.
it was just bad for him mentally.
Yes.
And then he said from there, he thought of other ways outside of therapy that he can improve,
Hmm.
his quality of life. And he said
Yes.
he's always going to lose weight.
Yeah.
And so he's got back in the gym and started losing weight.
Yeah.
Another thing that is interesting because they ended up buying a house together.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But he ended up leaving. He
Yeah.
ended up
Oh.
leaving. And this individual moved family members in, and he was fine with that. But he said that he wanted to move out of the town they were in because he didn't want to run to this individual. So
Yeah. Hmm.
he's taken all the necessary steps
Yes.
to grieve because
Yeah.
this is a form of grieving for him.
Yes. Yes.
And he and this individual, they kind of, I won't say too much. I don't know if some
Yeah.
people watch the show, but they are in the same uh company per
Oh.
se. So they kind of have to see each other
Oh.
dating. Dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Got you. Yeah.
Yeah. And he said, and that's what makes it hard for him
Yeah.
because he have to see her because he still got feelings for her,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he's trying to learn how to
Yeah.
heal. And I
Yeah.
asked him, I said, well, do you feel like you need to look for another place of employment? He said no,
Yeah.
because he liked it there. And
Oh.
he said therapy is helping him how to
Oh.
deal with her when he runs into her in the hallway,
Yeah.
or if they're coming upstairs. And he
Yeah.
said they don't even speak. He said it's
Oh.
crazy.
Wow.
He said
Yeah.
that, the first time he was coming upstairs, he spoke, she didn't speak, so it made him feel uncomfortable. And he said he decided to stop speaking because he didn't want to make her feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, 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 and that's that part is good too, because
Yeah.
you don't want her to say things, but that's good that he has awareness. It sounds like he has awareness, and he's going through the right things, of seeking counseling
Hmm.
and physical, doing things to boost your endorphins or whatever, So that's good for
Yeah.
him. Is take time to heal, and eventually, he's surrounding himself with all the positive things. So
Exactly.
good things are gonna come out with that.
I
That's
believe that.
very.
I
Hmm.
believe that. And he had shared some things, and when they were in relationship, she didn't care for his family.
Mm,
But what was really interesting is her family's involved, and he really catered to them and things like
mm-hmm.
that.
Hmm.
And so now he's reconnecting
Hmm.
with his family,
Oh,
you
good.
know.
Yes.
And he said that's helping him
Mhm.
heal, and he's
Yeah.
not saying anything negative about her. And of
Good.
course they know, but
Yeah.
he just shared, you know what, that's kind of private. I don't
Mhm.
want to talk about it because he
Yeah.
said it's not fair uh
Mhm.
to share my side of the story when she's there, not to share hers. And he did admit, like, I wasn't perfect, neither was she,
Yeah.
but I did my best. I
Yeah.
gave all I can give.
Yeah.
And the way things went down, he said he was obviously hurt,
Yeah.
but and he said even after, because she left him,
Yeah.
he said he still, about a couple of weeks, gave it a try. And
Yeah.
that's when he realized that, man, okay, this is over with. So
Yeah.
now I got to start focusing on myself. Like, what am I going to
Yeah.
do?
Yeah. That's good. I love to hear that, because some folks, they don't snap up like he shape up like how he's doing. They get in
Yeah.
that depression. They stop caring about themselves. Is it just be a whole conflict within the family, and
Yeah.
just a whole type of lot of situations can occur. So he's doing really good. You
Yeah.
just got to keep pushing, and it's fine if she don't want to say hello. Okay,
Yeah.
and just still keep being a stronger person, the bigger person, the better person.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah, you have to be in situations like that. And I
Mm-hmm.
made sure that I definitely um well, I checked in with him a lot. He just recently told me that that was the breakup was like a death to him, but you
Yeah.
know, they kind of it been
Yeah.
happening. He just kind of shared a little bit more with me.
Yeah.
And I made sure that even when it happened, I'm like, hey, how's it going? And
Yeah.
it's interesting because when you saw him, when I seen him, you couldn't even really tell. I
Uh,
knew because he told me,
yeah.
but the way he carried himself, he
Yeah.
said he just refused to let his personal life
That's good.
dictate, you know,
Yeah.
his work life. Yeah.
That's
But
good.
he was
Yeah.
definitely
My
going through.
goodness. Yeah, that's awful. I was hearing about a situation with someone who I know she's kind of close to me, but I had to distance myself to her because it's just drama. But
Yeah.
anywho, she's with this guy. She just recently had a baby by him. And and their whole situation is like domestic violence,
Yeah.
and it's like you keep going back to this person that's not good for you, but she don't understand what she
Yeah.
do. She know it's wrong, but she don't care.
Yeah.
She's gonna go through all that, and been to jail, and about to lose your children. You've been warned, and
Yeah.
to be continued on this situation, because I think that if she keep on, they're gonna come take her kids, because now
Yeah.
at this point, it's abuse, neglect,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
some people just be so unhealthy, and,
Yeah.
can be selfish too. Like,
Uh-huh.
and when there's other people, and especially you, more important, you got to figure out things for yourself. And I have
Yeah.
coached her and talked to her, it's just repetitive situations. This is not her first relationship like this.
Yeah.
Somehow she keep being drawn to these type of toxic relationships. So that's
Mhm.
good. He's doing better. Just
Yeah.
a lot of people, they just keep drawing themselves back, like they have to take it, and you don't
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah. One of the things I learned with people like that, because I have definitely know folks like that. I think people like that are afraid um to end
Yeah.
that relationship in a sense where they know it's wrong, they know things are not going well, and they
Yeah.
can see they're being taken advantage of, whether it's financially, mentally,
Yes.
physically. But the thought of not having that person in their life on a
Yeah.
consistent basis
Hmm.
is something traumatizing to them.
Hmm.
And so instead of going through that,
Hmm.
they rather just put up with all this unhealthy
Her,
behavior coming from the
yeah.
individual, which is, it eventually get to that point,
Yeah, yeah,
you
eventually,
know.
yeah. Or hopefully nothing happens. Then
Yeah,
there's another situation where the couple is married, and they older,
yeah,
and he don't want to divorce his wife, but she don't want him. That she haven't been sleeping in the same bed. She's sleeping in different rooms for the last four or
yeah,
5 years. She don't want him. She just,
yeah,
she's so abusive to him, but he love his wife,
yeah,
But now he's coming to terms like, okay, I know I can't keep going through this, but he's back and forth with it, but he knows what he has to do. And
yeah,
like healing, it's like, oh my gosh, I hate, when you care about somebody, you hate to see
yeah,
them go through something. And it's like, oh my gosh, you guys are over 70 years old. Who wants to,
yeah,
get a divorce? We can, whatever happened can be fixed,
yeah,
but some people, but yeah, it's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have a another friend that he um he okay. He was in a relationship with this girl for like say about 4 years, 4 to 5 years.
Mhm.
And they had a son together. And everything about the relationship was they was very, very, very intertwined.
Mhm.
It was obvious from the folks who had first hand knowledge of their relationship
Yeah.
that he loved her more. It was just
Mhm.
obvious, you know.
Yeah.
But she was extremely smart,
Mhm.
educated, and he ended up starting two businesses, had a son. I mean, he pretty much was, you know, what a man's supposed to do, take care of his
Yeah.
family.
Mhm. Mhm.
That didn't work out. I mean, she just did some things she shouldn't have did,
Yeah.
and she pretty much was taking advantage of
Yeah.
him being, you know, stepping up to the plate as a
Yes.
man. She wasn't used to that,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they ended up breaking up,
Mhm.
and that traumatized him to the
Yes.
point where he lost both of his business. He had to
Goodness.
move back in with his mom.
Yeah.
On top of that,
Mm.
she fought him tooth and nail so he couldn't see his son no more. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh my
it was
goodness. Just try.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to him, and I remember him, you know, kind of talking to me about, well, what I got to live for. I wish I had.
Oh my goodness.
That,
Yeah.
you know, even to this
Yes.
day, when
Yeah.
I talk to him, I look at him and we kind of, you know, here and I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
how's it going? You could still see that
The hurt.
trauma.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm. Yeah.
it's so,
Oh
so,
my
so deep with
goodness.
him.
Yeah.
So deep. You
Yeah.
know, lost his car. I mean, everything.
Yeah. Oh my
Everything.
goodness. Yeah,
Yeah.
for this person.
Yeah.
And my first love, oh my goodness, I was so in love and
Yeah.
everything, but one thing, I can, like I try to tell people is, those red flags, if you're putting more into a relationship than what they're giving you, something ain't right.
Yeah.
We can't, it's always those red flags.
Yeah.
And another thing is, yeah, you supposed to love, but don't love nobody more than you love yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's hard to do, but it works out better that way.
Yeah, in the end, definitely. As you get older, it
Yes.
does.
Yes.
When we're younger, we don't, you know, we
Yeah.
don't really see it.
Hmm.
But as you get older, you're supposed to grow. You're supposed to
Yeah.
get wisdom
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
learn
Have
from
some
life
type of,
experience, your mistakes,
yeah.
your
Hmm.
failures, your success.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, some people don't, but
Hmm.
I don't know how they don't.
Yeah, I know. That's the hard part right there. And it's like, well, dang, something probably is going on up here,
Yeah,
which is not their fault. But that's why it's good that we do these podcasts and able to
yeah,
talk about things. Hopefully, someone can pay forward to it and
yeah.
educate others. Because sometimes people are committing suicide.
Mhm.
Because they're so in love, and your brain is very powerful, Pow-
Yeah,
powerful.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I know too, also, like, you know, I can even talk about myself where, you know, I didn't grow up with a dad in my life. And, you know, he was around here and there, but there was never any consistency where he lived in a home or, you know, he was out doing whatever he was doing. And
yeah,
I always wanted to have a relationship with my both my parents,
yeah,
but more so my dad, because he's a man. Like I want, you know, who's ever gonna teach that man?
yeah,
And you
yeah,
know,
yeah. My pops. Yeah.
yeah. And so
Hmm.
I, you know, started to grow and, you know, and he was just an absentee. He wasn't there. What
Yeah.
I didn't realize is when I, you know, started making my steps in life, you know, graduating and all that, you know,
Yeah.
I think I showed the last show, nobody came, you know, to my eighth grade graduation, high
Yeah.
school, it was
Yeah.
just me. But
Yeah.
what I didn't realize when I got into college, I had
Yeah.
a lot of trauma and
Hmm.
a lot of baggage,
Yes.
a lot of insecurity that I
Hmm.
brought with me
Yeah.
to college, which I
Yeah.
didn't know none of that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had a lack of trust for people because I
Hmm.
felt like, well, if I'm not close to my family,
Hmm.
then nobody else is going to be able to be there
Yeah.
for me if they can. And I had so much disdain for this man. Like I literally just I despise him in a
Yeah.
very strong way because I felt like I'm your oldest son.
Yeah.
How could you? And I had all these
Yeah.
thoughts and things like that.
Yeah.
And I remember, you know, I think it was in 2015. I want to say, I think it's 15.
Hmm.
We had a family reunion, and
Yeah.
you know, I was encouraged to go and see him.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go and see him, you know.
Yeah.
But that trip was part of my healing journey
Mhm. Mhm.
with this man, my
Mhm.
dad, and thank God I was able to do that
Yeah.
because, now I've been healed of all that
Yeah.
insecurities and,
Mhm.
crazy stuff that was going on,
Yeah.
the depression, like, what is, how could you,
Yeah.
and I've actually ran across people, especially young men,
Mhm.
that is in the same boat,
Yeah.
100%. Don't
Yes.
have no access. Their father just out doing nothing to
Yes.
do with them, and
Yeah.
watching how that
Mhm.
traumatized them and affect them
Yes.
mentally. I'm
Mhm.
able to speak on my story and tell
Yes.
them what I did to and what steps I took to be able to heal because
Yeah.
it is a healing process and it does affect you
Mhm.
mentally for sure.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's so many different circumstances, that affect them, a person at their adulthood or even a teenager, two
Yeah,
teenagers, high school,
yeah,
your love, who you thought who loved you didn't really love you, or
yeah,
life sucks
yeah,
sometimes when it comes to those type of situations. It sucks.
yeah,
Yeah, it really sucks. But I'm glad you were able to get the healing and now you're able to help someone else, because that's the big thing. We want closure.
yeah,
Sometimes we can't move on without closure, whether we
yeah.
whether we're gonna get it or not, but we gotta be able to accept it. Like, okay, I might get closure, I might not, but how do we move on if you don't have
Right.
the resources or someone to help you?
That's right.
Or to guide you, or or sometimes you just be self awareness, like, okay, this is what I got to do. Like with the first situation you were telling me.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's awful,
yeah,
when you don't have any closure, no help,
yeah.
no resources.
I agree. And it's interesting that you refer back to the first story because I think sometimes people know what they supposed. A matter of fact, I know they know what they're supposed to do
Yeah,
when
I
they're in
know what
these
you mean.
relationships, unhealthy relationships.
Yeah,
They just don't have the strength to do what they need
do
to
it.
do.
Hmm.
Because once again, the first friend I'm telling you about, he immediately he was like, okay, 2 weeks. He still, was just trying. Once
Yeah,
he saw a relationship was dead, he knows how it started affecting him.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
first thing he did was go and get
Some
some therapy.
help. Yes,
That's
yes,
the first thing he did. Not
yes,
lose weight,
yeah.
not go on a trip, because he realized that, whoa, this is a mental thing now. And
Yeah, yeah.
if I can't take care of
Hmm.
that, then
Yes,
everything else I'm
yes.
ready to do.
Yes, and that's what people don't realize.
Yeah.
Like, your mind is is important. Like they
Yes.
say, a mind's a terrible thing to waste. Don't let nobody play with your head. When they
Yeah.
start playing games, oh no,
Yeah.
or just your mind
Yeah.
just drift off to other things, and you really be focused on this, and yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing. That's very
Yeah.
healthy. And like after my loss, it's everybody got different things of how they deal with losses and stuff,
Yeah.
and sometimes we still try to figure out what's a better way, and for me, after 5 years, the loss is still gonna be there,
Yeah.
I'm still gonna have my ups and downs and so forth,
Yeah.
but I find out at walking,
Okay.
that mentally, oh my gosh, when or just, I've been going hiking too lately,
Hmm.
and it's just the best thing ever. You just have this burst of, just be the best feeling after, and you
Yeah.
just be like so calm. So, that's
Mhm.
a good way. I did seek therapy. It helped a little bit, but I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe I haven't had the right one, to be honest,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, but you have to know that you have to do something. You
Right.
have to do something. That's the
Right.
main thing.
Yeah.
You're
I
not just
think
sitting it.
100%. And to speak to you, what you just said, I feel like therapy is different things to different people because some people may seek out a physical therapist and
Yeah,
it just may not work.
yeah,
It may
yeah,
not work. Now they may have people outside of that profession that they
yeah,
can talk to and
yeah,
share their feelings with and get some advice and stuff. And
yeah,
that may serve as a form of a therapy, but it's different thing to different people. I got a friend who
yeah,
loves to fish, loves to
yeah,
fish.
yeah,
And whenever he going through something, he go and fish.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
say it's very serene,
Yeah.
it's quiet,
Yeah.
not a lot of people around, he
Yeah.
focus.
Yeah.
Me,
Yeah.
that's not my thing. I
Yeah.
can't do it.
Yeah. I
I
don't like
can't
to.
do it. Mm-mm.
My son, he likes to fish. That's starting to be his hobby.
Yeah,
I can't do it though.
yeah. But for some people, it's so I
Yeah.
definitely agree with you on that. So, Javon,
Uh-huh.
so describe your experience working with people who experience different types of loss. Like you shared a little bit about your friend's situation, but what I mean by different type of loss, whether it's through death or whether it's through a relationship or whether it's through losing a job. Because even
Yeah.
losing a job can
Yeah.
be very traumatic for some people.
Yes.
You know,
Absolutely. Yes. I like I say, I see it all the time, with it can be you didn't get a promotion that you
yeah,
worked so hard for, I seen that happen in those
yeah,
terms where the person, just kind of let themselves go.
yeah,
And as I mentioned before, in relationships, you keep being in these abusive relationships, and now you draw to the same thing. I see it with some of the other moms, that I support as well. When they lose their kid,
yeah,
you have to move on. And then I see some mothers, they don't get out of it,
yeah,
or even a parent, you know.
yeah,
Just last night, I haven't seen this lady in so long, and she lost her mother a year ago. And I heard some of the things that she was going through, and and she don't even know whether me. Just I don't know. I can't. I'm not within her, but just to see some of the things that she was doing, like the songs and dancing. And she I don't think she realized when I told her, I said, "You're doing pretty good. Keep doing what you're doing,
yeah,
take time out for yourself," because I'm hearing, that she's so in she put herself last and put her husband, her household first. And and it's like, don't do that.
hmm
You gotta take care of you before you
hmm
take care of the others. But I just see that she's coming along, and I don't think she know what I was talking about, because she kept giving
yeah,
me this look like, huh? And I said, you understand what I'm saying? Just keep doing what you're doing, and as a tip, take care of you first, your household. I dropped those little lugs to her. I didn't want to go all into her situation, like, I know what's
yeah,
on your household, but
yeah,
just influencing that person. And sometimes people, they're already doing it before they even realize what they're doing.
yeah. And
Yeah.
that's funny too, Coach Yvonne, because sometimes people feel guilty
Mhm.
when they start to focus on themselves. They feel like they're
Yeah.
being selfish. But I
Mhm.
think in this case, what you're talking about, your friend needed to
Yeah.
focus on herself
Yeah. Mhm.
in
Yeah.
order to gain access to her healing.
Yeah. Yeah. So so that's another thing. If we know someone, write them a note. Tell them, Dear John letter or something with a note, whatever we can do, influence them, send them
Yeah,
something, sometimes we gotta pick them up, especially with those situations that they're not drawn to it, they're not going to keep going back to it, whether it's a relationship, just whatever, to motivate people, people need
yeah,
that. Yeah, but yeah, I done seen it in so many different ways, and I'm sure you have too.
yeah,
And it can be, like a teenager,
yeah,
have they first love somebody who they always want to be around, and this person don't want to be around you, and and then it start to become unhealthy. Yeah, I see it all the time. Hmm.
that does weigh on your mind mentally when you've invested so much in a person,
Yeah.
individual, and all of a sudden this individual wake up one day and like, you no longer important. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, I've been there. Trust me,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
life,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
I've been on both sides. I've,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
did people wrong, and I've been left
Yeah.
wrong. And so when she was on the other foot, meaning when they did me wrong, it wasn't a good feeling.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
mentally, I was, man, it was tough,
Yes.
and man, oh, I couldn't even, well, just even thinking about it, it was hard.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was so hard, couldn't sleep, couldn't eat,
Yeah.
thinking about the person, who they would, like all
Yeah.
type of stuff going on in my
Yeah.
head, you
Yeah.
know,
Yep.
um, depressed, sad,
hmm
angry, all these mixed emotions. And yeah, it's not. And that's why it's good that we as society, as community members, for those that
Yes.
we have access to, that we do check on them and make sure they're okay. And,
Yeah.
because if we have that relationship with them, we'll know
Yeah.
when they're not at their best mentally.
Yeah.
We will
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I just say to others, like, especially when it comes to relationship, you
Yeah.
gotta look out for those red flags.
Yeah.
And never put yourself last before someone else,
Yeah. Yeah.
and just be mindful. Yeah, because
Yeah.
sometimes people intentions don't be good.
I
And
agree.
sometimes people fall out, they love each other and they fall out of love, and they can still, be copacetic, but
Yeah.
that's healthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes things happen.
Yeah. So, Javon, we've run out of time for this first segment, but we're going to jump back in after I close it out, because I want to talk about uh,
Okay,
what you just said.
absolutely.
Um, so that's it for this edition of Mental Health Matters. If you enjoyed this part one of this show, if you'd like to be a guest on our show, or if you would like a DVD copy of this show, please dial 916-366-4600. Thank you.